If you're over 60, what you eat isn't just about taste anymore. It's about how long and how well you live. Every bite matters. But there's one food group that has been so misunderstood, so oversimplified. It's causing seniors to either fear it completely or overconsume it blindly. That food group? Carbohydrates. Yes, carbs. The same ones that get blamed for weight gain, blood sugar spikes, fatigue, and inflammation. But what if I told you that some carbs are absolutely vital to your strength, memory, heart health, and even emotional balance as a senior, while others could quietly be sabotaging your body from the inside out, damaging your joints, spiking your blood sugar, and accelerating age-related decline? It's not just about eating fewer carbs. It's about eating the right ones daily and cutting out the toxic ones completely. In this video, you'll discover the 4 healing, essential carbs every senior should eat every single day. The 4 silent damaging carbs that seniors must never touch. Real-life stories of seniors who transformed their health just by making simple swaps. Plus doctor-backed insights, consumption tips, and natural alternatives. Don't wait until your next blood test surprises you. The daily carbs you choose now can protect or punish your body. Before we dive in, if you're serious about aging with vitality, strength, and clarity, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. This channel is your trusted source for science-based, senior-friendly wellness advice. Now, let's start with the first carb your body actually needs every single day, especially as you age. And no, it's not what you think. Let's begin with one of the most essential carbs seniors must eat daily, yet it's often the most neglected. We're talking about fiber-rich complex carbohydrates. Now, before your mind jumps to bland cereal or prunes, hear this. Fiber-rich carbs are nutritional gold, and your gut, heart, and brain depend on them every single day. Let me explain why. Why fiber-rich carbs are crucial for seniors. As we age, our digestive system slows down, and our gut microbiome weakens. That's the collection of healthy bacteria in your intestines that control everything from digestion to mood and even memory. Fiber is the fuel for those good bacteria. Without enough fiber, harmful bacteria start to overgrow, leading to chronic constipation, brain fog, poor nutrient absorption, weakened immunity, and even inflammation that spreads to your joints and heart. But when you feed your body the right fiber-rich carbs daily, you're not just improving digestion. You're protecting your brain, balancing blood sugar, lowering cholesterol, and keeping your energy steady all day long. What are these fiber-rich carbs? Here are the top fiber-rich carbs seniors should eat daily. Steel-cut oats. Unlike instant oats, they digest slowly and stabilize blood sugar. Lentils, packed with fiber and protein, and they're soft, easy to chew, and versatile. Quinoa, a gluten-free grain loaded with fiber, magnesium, and iron. Sweet potatoes, naturally sweet and full of soluble fiber and beta-carotene. These foods don't just fill you up. They nourish your entire system. Hear Mary's testimonial. She is 72 from Georgia. Mary had struggled with bloating and constipation for over 10 years. Her doctor prescribed medications, but nothing worked long-term. When she switched her breakfast from white toast and jam to a warm bowl of steel-cut oats with cinnamon and berries, her energy, digestion, and memory improved within weeks. "I never realized food could be the medicine," she said. "It wasn't a pill. It was a smart carb choice." How to eat them daily. Simple tips. Start your day with steel-cut oats. Add ground flaxseed and blueberries for extra fiber. Add half a cup of cooked lentils to your soup or salad at lunch. Swap white rice for quinoa at dinner. Roast sweet potatoes in olive oil and herbs as a fiber-rich side dish. And most importantly, drink water with fiber-rich meals. Fiber needs fluid to move smoothly through your gut. After 60, fiber-rich complex carbs should be a daily prescription. They're the backbone of digestive and cognitive health. But here's where things get interesting. Not all healthy-looking carbs are actually helpful. In fact, many seniors unknowingly replace real fiber with a fake version that causes more harm than good. Before we go there, let's explore the next must-eat carb that helps protect your heart and joints. And might just surprise you. Our second essential carb isn't found in flashy packaging or sugary breakfast bars. It's an ancient grain, one that stood the test of time, and for good reason. That carb is barley. Yes, simple. Humble barley is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory carbs seniors can add to their plate, and it deserves a permanent spot in your kitchen. Why barley is a senior super carb? As you age, your risk of high blood pressure, joint pain, and arterial stiffness increases. This isn't just wear and tear. It's often due to chronic low-grade inflammation from processed foods, sedentary habits, and oxidative stress. Barley contains a special kind of fiber called beta-glucan, a compound known for reducing LDL bad cholesterol, stabilizing blood sugar after meals, lowering blood pressure naturally, and decreasing inflammation in arteries and joints. It's also rich in selenium, magnesium, and B vitamins, all nutrients seniors need more of for cardiovascular health, nerve function, and energy production. Listen to Leonard's story. Leonard, 76, and his morning barley bowl. Leonard used to wake up with stiff knees and ankles. His doctor said it was aging and prescribed anti-inflammatory meds. But they upset his stomach. A nutritionist suggested barley porridge for breakfast instead of sugary cereal. After just a month, Leonard noticed less morning stiffness, lower blood pressure readings, and fewer energy crashes in the afternoon. I didn't expect barley to be my miracle. He laughs now. But ancient foods often hold the best modern solutions. How to add barley to your diet simple and senior-friendly. Make barley porridge. Cook pearl barley with water or low-fat milk, cinnamon, and chopped apples. Add it to soups and stews instead of white rice or noodles. Use barley flour in pancakes or muffins. It's lower on the glycemic index than refined flours. Mix chilled cooked barley with cucumbers, olive oil, and parsley for a cool, anti-inflammatory salad. Tip: use hulled or pearl barley. Both are minimally processed and cook well. Expert insight: barley's beta-glucans reduce systemic inflammation, making it an ideal food for seniors with hypertension, diabetes, or joint pain. In fact, one Harvard study found that barley eaters had 30% lower risk of heart disease compared to those who consumed refined grains. That's a big deal, and it's all thanks to one unprocessed, ancient carb. Now, if barley is a healing grain, what about the carb that powers your muscles and protects your bones? There's a dangerous myth out there that seniors should avoid carbs if they want to stay lean and mobile. But that couldn't be further from the truth. As you age, your body needs fuel to stay strong, maintain muscle mass, and support bone density. And one key carbohydrate plays a vital role in doing all three. Potassium-rich starchy carbs like bananas, beets, and butternut squash. Let's talk about why these natural carbs are essential for senior vitality. Why potassium-rich carbs matter for seniors. After 60, many seniors experience muscle loss known as sarcopenia, slower recovery from exertion, higher risk of bone fractures, fatigue, even after eating. Here's the connection most people miss. These symptoms often relate to low potassium levels and poor glucose metabolism, both of which are tied to carb quality. Carbohydrates like bananas and beets don't just provide energy. They deliver potassium, magnesium, and antioxidants that prevent muscle cramps, aid in calcium absorption, protecting bones, reduce fatigue by optimizing energy, ADP production, support nerve and muscle coordination, and unlike processed carbs, these natural carbs come with slow-burning energy and anti-inflammatory compounds. Florence, 81, and her afternoon crash fix. Florence, a retired teacher, would hit a wall every afternoon around 3 p.m. She'd feel weak, dizzy, and anxious. She used to grab crackers or tea biscuits for a quick fix, but they'd spike and crash her blood sugar. Her daughter suggested a banana smoothie with Greek yogurt and chia seeds instead. Not only did Florence stop crashing in the afternoons, she said her leg cramps disappeared too. Small change. Big difference. Top potassium-rich carbs seniors should eat daily. Bananas. Naturally sweet, portable, and gentle on digestion. Beets. Loaded with nitrates that boost blood flow to muscles and the brain. Butternut squash. Full of vitamin A, potassium, and complex carbs. Plantains, boiled or baked, a heartier option for energy-rich meals. These carbs offer the perfect balance of nutrients and energy without the crash. How to include these carbs. Slice bananas over oatmeal or blend into smoothies. Roast beets and add to salads or eat warm with olive oil. Mash cooked squash with cinnamon and nutmeg. Boil plantains and pair with beans or lean fish for a senior-friendly, nourishing dinner. Tip: always combine starchy carbs with a source of protein or healthy fat to slow digestion and improve nutrient absorption. These natural carbs are powerful allies for any senior looking to stay strong, mobile, and energetic. So far, we've looked at carbs that feed your gut, calm your heart, and power your muscles. But what about the carb that supports your memory and helps you think clearly into your 70s, 80s, and beyond? It's not a supplement. It's a natural carb your brain craves. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you went there? Or struggled to recall a name, a date, or a conversation you just had? Memory lapses can be frustrating, even frightening, especially as we age. But here's the good news. One category of carbs has been shown to nourish the aging brain, enhance memory, and even lift mood. That carb? Whole fruits rich in natural sugars and polyphenol. Yes, fruit. Why whole fruits are brain food for seniors. Let's clear something up. Not all sugar is created equal. Refined sugar found in cookies, sodas, and pastries? Bad news. We'll talk about those later. But the natural sugar found in fruits, especially paired with fiber and antioxidants, has been shown to support cognitive function, fuel the brain's energy needs, reduce oxidative stress in neurons, and promote the release of mood-regulating chemicals like serotonin. Your brain, even in old age, still runs primarily on glucose. But the key is getting that glucose from the right source, and whole fruits are the perfect delivery system. Which fruits are best for seniors' brain health? These are the top brain-boosting fruits that deliver clean carbs, fiber, and brain-friendly antioxidants. Blueberries, called brain berries for a reason, loaded with anthocyanins that improve communication between brain cells. Apples with skin, high in quercetin, which fights inflammation and protects brain cells from damage. Oranges, packed with vitamin C and natural sugars for quick mental clarity. Avocados, yes, a fruit. High in healthy fats and low sugar supports blood flow to the brain. What's beautiful about fruits is they don't just offer quick energy, they feed your cells while fighting cognitive decline. Listen to how regular fruit eating helps Charles. A 79-year-old retired architect noticed his short-term memory fading. He'd skip fruit, thinking it was too sugary. But after meeting with a nutritionist, he added a handful of berries with breakfast and an apple with almond butter in the afternoon. 2 months in, Charles said he felt sharper, more alert, and not as moody. His doctor noted improved focus and reduced symptoms of mild cognitive decline. Sometimes, simple foods make profound differences. How to eat these brain-boosting carbs daily. Add half a cup of blueberries to oatmeal or yogurt at breakfast. Snack on an apple with skin, paired with nut butter. Enjoy a citrus fruit like orange or tangerine mid-morning. Add sliced avocado to toast, salads, or eggs. Tip: buy fruits in season or freeze them to preserve nutrients. Choose organic when possible, especially for thin-skinned fruits like apples and berries. And remember, whole fruit is always superior to fruit juice, which lacks fiber and spikes blood sugar. Now that we've covered the 4 must-eat daily carbs for seniors, carbs that protect your gut, heart, muscles, and brain, it's time for a major shift. Because not all carbs are healing. In fact, the next 4 are silently harming seniors every single day, contributing to fatigue, inflammation, weight gain, and even cognitive decline. Now that we've uncovered the healing power of essential carbs, it's time to confront the dangerous carbs seniors should avoid at all costs. Starting with one that looks innocent, but isn't. The number 1 carb seniors must never touch is refined white flour. You'll find it in white bread, crackers, pancakes, pasta, biscuits, and even so-called wheat products that are actually just dyed white flour. And while it may taste soft and comforting, refined white flour is anything but gentle on a senior's body. Why refined white flour is dangerous for seniors. White flour is a stripped-down grain. During processing, it's bleached, the fiber is removed, and the nutrients, like magnesium, B vitamins, and iron, are destroyed or artificially added back. Here's what that means for your health. Causes rapid blood sugar spikes, leading to energy crashes, cravings, and insulin resistance. Increases inflammation in joints and blood vessels. Weakens bones over time due to acid-forming properties and calcium depletion. Disrupts gut health, feeding harmful bacteria. Raises risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, especially in people over 60. It's not just empty calories. It's a metabolic wrecking ball. Listen to this story. Gloria, 68, and her daily bread habit. Gloria loved toast. 2 slices every morning. plus crackers for snacks and white rolls at dinner. Over the years, she gained weight, developed joint pain, and her doctor warned of prediabetes. After watching a documentary on hidden sugars in white carbs, Gloria made a change. She switched to sprouted grain bread and began baking with oat flour. Within 2 months, she lost 9 pounds, her blood sugar stabilized, and she reported less knee pain. "It wasn't sugar I was addicted to. It was bread," she said. "But once I made the swap, my body thanked me." What to avoid? White bread, even enriched or fortified. White pasta. Pastries, scones, croissants. Instant flour-based pancakes and waffles. Many store-bought cereals. Be especially cautious with foods labeled wheat that still use refined flour as their first ingredient. Always check labels if it says enriched wheat flour. It's refined white flour in disguise. Healthy alternatives seniors can trust. Sprouted grain bread, easier to digest and lower glycemic index. Steel-cut oats and quinoa instead of flour-based cereals. Whole grain pasta or legume-based pasta, chickpea, lentil. Oat flour, almond flour, and coconut flour for baking. These options nourish your body instead of spiking it, helping you stay active, strong, and balanced. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I'll ditch the white bread. But what if I told you the next carb to avoid is even sneakier? It pretends to be healthy, hides in many diet foods, and can damage your memory over time. Let's talk about one of the sneakiest carbs seniors must avoid, not because it looks bad, but because it looks healthy. The food industry is clever. They slap labels like whole grain, low fat, heart healthy, no sugar added. But behind the packaging is often a refined, fast-burning, highly processed carb that does more harm than good, especially to your brain. This carb? Processed whole grain products loaded with added sugars and artificial fibers, like granola bars, instant oatmeal packets, and flavored low-fat yogurts. How this carb damages brain health. Your brain is delicate. After age 60, it's especially vulnerable to glucose imbalances, inflammation, neuronal damage from free radicals. Here's what happens when you eat processed carb products that are marketed as healthy. They flood the brain with excess glucose, which leads to brain fog and memory lapses. They often contain high fructose corn syrup, which has been linked to brain inflammation. They're low in actual fiber, even if labeled whole grain, and they can disrupt the gut-brain axis, affecting your mood and cognitive clarity. Worse still, seniors trying to eat better are targeted with these products, especially when trying to replace sugary treats or lose weight. Granola bars labeled low sugar, but made with syrups. Instant oatmeal packets with flavoring often full of fake sugars. Whole grain crackers or cereals that still list refined flour as the first ingredient. Yogurts with fruit on the bottom or flavored light versions. Cereal labeled multigrain. That's just refined corn and wheat. What to choose instead? Homemade oatmeal with real fruit and nuts. Plain Greek yogurt with a drizzle of honey and berries. Raw nuts or boiled eggs as snacks instead of granola bars. Cooked quinoa or amaranth as an actual whole grain with meals. Tip: always read the ingredients, not just the front label. If you can't pronounce it or it has more than 3 kinds of sugar, leave it on the shelf. One of the most common causes of senior moments is diet, particularly high glycemic, processed carb products that raise insulin and trigger inflammation in the brain. You've now seen how some so-called healthy carbs can actually age your brain. But the next carb is even more deceptive. Because it's sold as a comfort food, it's everywhere in senior care centers, and it could be silently fueling chronic disease. Comfort food. For many of us, it brings back memories of warmth, tradition, and home. But not all comfort is comforting, especially when it comes to your health. The third harmful carb seniors must never touch is one we've seen served in nearly every senior center, hospital tray, and family meal. Starchy white carbs like mashed potatoes and white rice. Yes, those seemingly harmless sides that sit next to your protein at dinner could be secretly fueling inflammation, draining your energy, and even raising your risk for chronic disease. The hidden dangers of starchy white carbs. Let's break it down. When you eat mashed potatoes or white rice, especially in large amounts, they are rapidly digested into simple sugars. This causes a sharp blood sugar spike, followed by a crash. It triggers the release of insulin, which encourages fat storage and inflammation. Repeated spikes over time damage blood vessels, joints, and nerves. In fact, studies show that diets high in starchy white carbs increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, arthritis and joint swelling, cognitive decline, and chronic fatigue. What makes it worse? These carbs lack fiber, magnesium, or antioxidants, making them nutritionally empty. What to avoid? Mashed potatoes made with cream and butter. Instant potatoes or boxed potato mixes. White rice, especially sticky rice used in takeout. White flour pasta or couscous as default side dishes. These carbs spike blood sugar with little benefit to your body, and often leave you feeling tired, bloated, and heavy. Better alternatives for comfort without consequences. Sweet potatoes roasted or mashed packed with fiber and antioxidants. Cauliflower mash low in carbs, easy on digestion, and creamy. Brown rice slower to digest with more fiber and nutrients. Quinoa or bulgur excellent side dishes rich in protein and trace minerals. Always keep your starchy carb portions small about the size of your clenched fist and balance it with protein and fiber-rich vegetables. Now, we've exposed some of the biggest carb culprits, but the final one? It's the most dangerous of all because it doesn't just age your body. It ages your cells, speeds up wrinkles, damages arteries, and increases your risk of disease faster than nearly any other food. You've made it to the final carb seniors should never touch, and this one is the most damaging of them all. It doesn't just drain your energy. It doesn't just spike your blood sugar. It actually accelerates aging at the cellular level. We're talking about refined sugar and high fructose sweeteners found in sodas and fruit juices, cakes, cookies, and pastries, flavored yogurts, breakfast cereals, even savory sauces like ketchup and salad dressing. Why refined sugar is a cellular agitator for seniors. When you consume refined sugar, especially on a regular basis, your body goes into a state of internal stress. Here's what happens. 1. Glycation begins. Sugar molecules attach to proteins in your skin and organs, causing wrinkling, stiffness, and tissue damage. 2. Inflammation rises, especially in joints, arteries, and the brain. 3. Insulin surges, pushing your body toward insulin resistance, weight gain, and diabetes. 4. Immune function declines, making it harder to fight off illness. 5. Cell aging speeds up, by shortening your telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA. This is why refined sugar is often called the gasoline of aging. Top sources of refined sugar to avoid: sugary drinks, soda, sweet teas, fruit juices, packaged baked goods, flavored yogurts and light desserts, instant cereals with added sweeteners, syrups, candy, and granola clusters. Even so-called healthy snacks often sneak in brown rice syrup, agave, or evaporated cane juice, which are still sugars in disguise. Sweet swaps for seniors without the damage: fresh or frozen berries with cinnamon, unsweetened Greek yogurt with banana slices or honey, baked apples with nuts and spices, dark chocolate in small pieces, chia pudding with dates or natural vanilla extract. And most importantly, retrain your taste buds. After 10 to 14 days without added sugars, many seniors find fruit tastes sweeter and cravings decrease significantly. Expert insight: sugar accelerates biological aging more than smoking in some studies. For seniors, cutting added sugar isn't just about weight, it's about preserving life quality and function. You've now learned the 4 essential carbs you must eat daily, and the 4 harmful ones you should never touch. But how do you put this all together into a lifestyle that's sustainable, enjoyable, and health-promoting? Let's bring everything home, with practical tips, simple swaps, and a path forward. We've journeyed through the carbs that can either nourish your body and mind or silently harm your health. Here's the bottom line: carbohydrates aren't the enemy. The quality and source of your carbs make all the difference, especially as a senior. Key takeaways to build your carb-smart lifestyle. 1. Choose fiber-rich, whole-food carbs daily. Steel-cut oats, barley, potassium-rich veggies and fruits, and antioxidant-packed whole fruits should be staples on your plate every day. 2. Avoid refined, processed carbs that spike blood sugar and inflammation. Say goodbye to white bread, instant oatmeal packets, starchy white potatoes and rice, and added sugars in sodas and snacks. 3. Balance your meals. Pair your carbs with lean proteins, healthy fats, and plenty of colorful vegetables to slow digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and boost nutrient absorption. 4. Watch your portions, especially with starchy carbs. A fist-sized serving is a good rule of thumb. 5. Read labels carefully. Look beyond marketing buzzwords like whole grain and low fat. Check the ingredient list for hidden sugars and refined flours. Simple daily tips to stay on track. Start your day with a fiber-rich breakfast like steel-cut oats topped with berries and nuts. Swap out white bread and pasta for sprouted grain or legume-based alternatives. Snack on fresh fruit and nuts instead of packaged sweets. Replace mashed potatoes or white rice with sweet potatoes or quinoa. Gradually reduce added sugars by substituting with natural sweeteners like cinnamon, vanilla, or small amounts of honey. For seniors, carbohydrate quality can mean the difference between thriving and merely surviving. Making informed choices is one of the simplest, most effective ways to support your vitality, brain health, and longevity. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to Seniors Vitality Hub for more trusted, science-backed health advice tailored for seniors. Like and share this video with loved ones who could benefit from smarter carb choices. And don't forget to comment below. Which carb will you start adding or avoiding today? Your journey to vitality starts with a single choice. Thank you for watching. Here's to your health, happiness, and vitality every day.